I'm back, Snatural Nation, and I'm cooking up some gluten-free, grain-free bread. Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Snatural Remedies. My name is Summer Martin and I'm back with another great video. Today I'm gonna make you guys some bomb gluten-free, grain-free breads. I mean, I love bread. I'm a carboholic, so I definitely have been missing my breads and my biscuits and my wraps and my tortillas and all that good stuff. But today I'm gonna share with you guys some healthy alternatives that I found to make my favorite recipes. Before we get started on this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please don't forget to hit that notification bell because you know I have some goodies coming down your timeline every week. So the bread that I have coming up I'm making is gluten-free, grain-free, and vegan. The biscuits I'm gonna make are gluten-free, grain-free, but I am gonna use some butter and eggs on that for those of you who are not vegan. And the flatbread I'm gonna make, oh my gosh, it is all made with lentils, so it's gluten-free, grain-free, vegan, all of the above freeze. For this bread recipe, I'm going to be using spring mineral water, baking powder, Himalayan salt, maple syrup, coconut flour, all-purpose flour, psyllium husk, and flaxseed, ground flaxseed that is. So before I get started making this gluten-free, grain-free, vegan bread, I'm going to process my flaxseed. You can buy it ground up, but honestly, it is cheaper when you just buy the seeds and then ground it yourself. Why not save a few bucks? I'm gonna start with my all-purpose baking flour. And for this flour, I'm gonna use 1.5 cups. Next, I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of coconut flour. A little bit of a different texture, a little bit of a different flavor. It makes the bread light. Next up are my flax seeds. I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of flax seeds. This is ground flax seed. I'm going to do 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Our salt, let's do a 1/2 teaspoon. I have one more dry ingredient to add, and that's my psyllium husk powder. So I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of whole psyllium husk. Now it's time to mix all these ingredients together. I'm using sparkling water as my liquid. I'm gonna do 2 cups and 1/3. Okay, 2 and 1/3. Before I put my sparkling water into my batter, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm gonna pour this in. I'm not gonna do all of it at once. thickened up nicely to a dough consistency. I'm gonna let it sit here for about 10 minutes. I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees. So right now I'm gonna lay down parchment paper. So I'm gonna put this flour on my surface so that way the bread doesn't stick too bad. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of water and pour on top here in between my slices, just so that we get a pretty little crust. Just want to put some seasoning on top just to give this bread a little flavor. Voila, this is done. I cannot wait to dive in. I actually took about an hour to cook this, and I turned it over to make sure it was cooked all the way through. With bread, you have to kind of go with the flow sometimes, so don't be afraid to leave it in longer if you need to. All right, oh my God, this is done. This is so good. This is gluten-free, grain-free, vegan bread, homemade, delicious. Now it's time to taste this bread. I'm so hungry. Wow, look at that. I'm gonna make some burgers out of this, some sandwiches, some avocado toast, peanut butter and jelly. So please try this recipe out. It is amazing. Mwah. Let's get to cooking. For my next recipe, I'm gonna do gluten-free, grain-free biscuits. Yes. These biscuits are so bomb, so soft, so flaky. You can make sandwiches with them. You can use biscuit and gravy and slop it all up. Like, you can do so much with these biscuits. I love them. The ingredients I'm gonna use to make these biscuits are organic pasteurized eggs, Himalayan sea salt, organic unsalted butter, baking powder, all-purpose gluten-free flour, and organic almond flour. I'm also gonna spice these biscuits up just a little bit. So I'm gonna throw in some garlic powder, onion powder, parsley, and all-purpose seasoning. Now it's time to get to baking. I cannot wait to get into some biscuits and some gravy and some toast and some butter and some P&J. I just want it all. I just want to carve it all. I'm gonna put my egg whites in this large bowl. I'm gonna do a half a cup of all-purpose flour. This is all-purpose gluten-free. And I'm going to do a half a cup of almond flour. And now I'm gonna do a full cup of flax seeds. Four teaspoons of baking powder. Now I'm gonna season this up. I want my biscuits to have a little bit of flavor, so I'm gonna add in about an 1/8 teaspoon garlic powder, about a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, about another teaspoon of parsley, and I'm gonna go in with some all-purpose seasoning. I'm gonna do a couple pinches of salt, probably about an 1/8 teaspoon. Now I'm gonna go on and mix this together. Now it's time for the butter. I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons of cold butter. Time for me to get those eggs together. I'm gonna get my hands in there. Don't wanna over mix this, but I do wanna make sure it's not chunky inside. Yeah, that's smooth in there, it's nice and soft. Perfect. Make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I'm gonna pop these babies in the oven for 20 minutes. Here we go. These biscuits are done. Oh my God, the house smells so good. You can smell the garlic and the onions and the parsley. I mean, these are yummy and ready to eat. I can dip these in a bowl of chili. I can have anything with these. I can slice them. If I make them bigger, I can slice them and I can make biscuits and eggs and whatever else you want to put between your biscuits. I'm just gonna dive right in. You already know me. Let's see here. Oh, there's still warm too. Ooh, yes. The flavor in this biscuit. So everything is super light, super flaky. I love it. So please give these biscuits a try. They are delicious. For this final recipe, I'm gonna do a lentil flatbread. The ingredients I'm gonna use to make this lentil bread are red lentils, and it's gotta be red lentils. If you try green lentils or anything else, it's not gonna puree the same. This lentil gets nice and creamy, so that's the whole point of using the red lentil. You want that batter to be on point. I'm also gonna use some sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, and some water. Today's a little extra special because I have some rose water in my jar. You don't have to have rose water. I'm always trying to be extra. Gotta be a little fancy. And I'm gonna use some grapeseed oil because I'm gonna pan fry these lightly. I'm gonna put just a little bit of grapeseed oil in the pan. Super easy. Bada boom, bada bang. For the process of making this lentil bread, I take 1 cup of lentils, soak it in 2 cups of water for 2 to 3 hours. You can also soak these lentils overnight if you like. Once my lentils are soaked, I'm going to drain them and rinse them really well and place them into a bowl. I want to create the batter for this flatbread. So I'm going to take about a 1/2 cup of lentils, put it into my blender, throw a pinch of salt into the blender, and then I'm going to add water to that. But I'm just going to add just enough water to go over the top of the lentils that's in your blender. Don't want to do too much water. If I need to add water later, I can, but if you add too much water, you already know that's a disaster. Now, to your liking, if you want to add in any other seasonings or any other herbs, maybe something sweet, it depends on what it is that you're going to cook later, please feel free. I'm going to blend this on high just to get these nice and creamy. I'm looking for the texture that's kind of like a pancake batter. Once I got my batter, boom, I'm ready. That's it. I'm gonna warm up my frying pan. Once that's warmed up at about a medium flame, I'm gonna put a very small amount of grapeseed oil in there. Now I'm going to pour in about a 1/2 cup of batter. And use my frying pan to tilt, that way the batter can kind of run naturally all around the pan to make this flatbread as flat as possible. I'm not looking for a big fluff on this. I want it to be as thin as possible. It's gonna cook about 3 to 4 minutes on that first side. Once you see the bubbles start to come up to the top, you know that baby is cooking and it's time to flip it over. Once it's flipped over, I only need to cook this second side maybe about 1 to 2 minutes. Now that the flatbread is done, it's time to take it out of the frying pan and set it to the side. And voila, it is ready. You can make as many of these as you want. I can actually store these lentils in the refrigerator for the next day or maybe 3 or 4 days later, but you don't have to make all this batter at once. You can break it up and make 1 or 2 if that's all you need. And here we go. This is the final product. This red lentil flatbread is bomb. You can make little burritos out of it. You can make little chimichangas out of it. You can make breakfast wraps out of this, lunch wraps out of this. You can spice this flatbread up if you want to. You can make it sweet and savory if you want to. I mean, I love it. I'm gonna take a little bite, a little taste, because you know I'm hungry. Perfect. Oh, this is a high-packed protein side dish. Nice snack. Wonderful, healthy, filled with protein. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's good. Please, give this red lentil flatbread, gluten-free, grain-free recipe a try. So that's my video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please give these recipes a try. I'm telling you, they will blow your mind and your oven up. Give these biscuits a go, this red lentil wrap, and this wonderful luscious bread. Gotta get into you. Gotta give it to you. Gotta get it into you. Gotta get it in you. You know what I mean. So don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get into those comment sections. Let me know if you are gonna try these recipes out. I guarantee they are delicioso. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone has a blessed, blessed day. Peace, peace, peace. Delicious. Scoop. Delicious. Scoop, scoop. Get a little food in you, you get a little energy.